So we're here to do the newspapers. So let's quickly get onto the screens and see whether we can do the daily graphic as quickly as we can. Let recent history guide us. President tells MPP faithful. And the story is on page 3 of the paper. And we know it's coming out from that delegates conference they held in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi. It's actually the heartland of Kumasi, of the Ashanti region, and also the base of the party, really. We have the ruling New Patriotic Party ending its extraordinary National Delegates Congress, in Kumasi yesterday, with President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo advising members of the party to avoid rivalry for positions to prevent the party from failing. He told members to be guided by Ghana's recent political history, which was replete with intra-party fight, especially among leading members of the party in government for various positions, and said that situation made the parties lose power very easily. That's sound advice, very good advice, really, from the president, having had hindsight on all the experiences. Now, he said there was some disagreement over some of the proposals. We have first the MPP USA branch, for instance, kicking against the proposal to disqualify persons with dual citizenship from contesting any party position. That's a good one. By the end of the Congress, proposals for members of the political of Parliament to appoint executive constituency executives, party members with dual citizenship, etc., were all flagged down. And the president has that insert. We'll bring you that insert again for you to get to up to speed with what the president said at that event. And this is the insert.
We have agreed the 3 controversial amendments are going to be withdrawn. The first is the amendment making it impossible for dual citizens to hold party office and contest elections. That amendment will be a disaster for our party. It will lead to the collapse of our overseas branches, and it is not constitutional. I'm aware of the problem that the amendment seeks to cure, but we have to deal with it in another manner. And that is amendment number 30, Roman 5A, at page 8 of the book. The second proposal that is going to be withdrawn and has been withdrawn is the one that gives MPs the right to appoint members of the constituency executive. I am strongly opposed to the measure, and it is going to be withdrawn. The third amendment, to which I am absolutely opposed, is that one that is set down as motion number 85, which seeks to make the presidential candidate, the president of our party, the flag bearer and leader of the party. That motion is against all precedent and tradition of this party, and I am going to ask for Congress to, if they will not be withdrawn, to oppose and reject it. We do not need that amendment.
And the president, he asked members to remain calm, noting that the race was not a sprint, but a cross-country and a marathon, and that the party would breast the tape at the end and not at the beginning. I think that's a good advice there also from the president. So we have other stories on the front page. It says 32-year-old woman beats son to death, and the story is on page 16 of the paper. And that's a rather tragic one, especially when you get to know the content of what the story is. It's also been featured, I believe, on the front page of the Ghanaian Times as well. And you go to page 17, it says that a 32-year-old woman is in the grip of the Kwabenya police here in Accra for allegedly beating her 11-year-old son to death last Saturday. The suspect, Rosina Sam, who owns a confectionery shop, provisions. Provisions. Minerals and biscuits. Is it a suspect who owns a confectionery shop at Kwabenya is said to have gotten angry with the son for losing 120 Ghana cedis, and the victim, Andrew Sam, a primary 4 pupil of The C&J Montessori at Kotobabe in Accra was sent by his mother to buy a mobile phone recharge card worth 120 Ghana cedis for his shop, but he returned to report to her mother that the money had gotten missing. All of us had gotten through this before. In our childhood, we were sent, and sometimes, and the mother just, I think, just lost it with anger and did something unnotable, allegedly. So it's an allegation. So we have other stories there. Swine flu vaccines now expected this week, and I think now we're being told that the health service says the expected arrival of the vaccines last Saturday to combat the swine flu virus has been delayed. It says that ultimately we hope that it will come in the next 2 days. That'll be on Wednesday. We hope that we're still able to get a grip on this swine flu. Okay, so we have Bank of Ghana to replace temporary ban on new banking licenses, and that's on page 26 of the paper. Now let's go to the back page of the Daily Graphic. It has on the back page 36% of public basic schools are without basic toilet facilities, and that's according to a report. And let me see. I went to the Ashama number 4 junior high school. Did we have toilets? I don't think so. Now you were back where you were friend I shall return. I shall return. Now we have about 7,332 out of the 20,738 public basic schools in the country do not have toilet facilities, while 6,922 others do not also have urinal facilities. Additionally, oh, now you're urinal. But that was 24 years ago, so. Okay. Additionally, 11,985, representing some 58% of the basic schools, do not have water facilities. And this according to the Education Management Information System for 2016-2017 academic year. Even though about 65% of all basic schools had latrines, only 42% had access to water supply. So latrine. Oh, Africa, Ghana. Now let's do the Ghanaian Times. On the front page of the Ghanaian Times, we've laid foundation for jobs. President declares at the MPP Extraordinary Delegates Conference. Okay, you read some papers, they say Congress. I know it's conference, but one of the officials was saying Congress too, so I was wondering. Okay, so we have the president again saying that they've laid the right foundation, and that's on page 29 of the paper. Almost more of the same stories we've brought to you throughout the rest of the yesterday and today, and this morning we're doing so. We also have Boss commits to supply petroleum products to West African states, and that's on page 33 of the newspaper. So we have the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company boss has affirmed its commitment to continue to supply petroleum products to Burkina Faso through Sonabi, a Burkinabe state-owned company responsible for procurement of petroleum products for that country. Additionally, boss will also be extending the supply to Mali and Niger very soon. And Alfred Obing, managing director, said he was speaking when he and his management team embarked on a 2-day tour of the northern region to inspect depots in Bolga, Savelugu, Bupe, and Debris. Okay, I hope I pronounced the name right. So that's a good one there. I hope that we'll get to speak to a boss sometime soon. Woman 32 beat son to death, over 120 Ghana cedis, and you have a picture there of the suspect, Rosina Sam, and the son is dead, who was 11 years old. Very pathetic. We really haven't ascertained what really may have happened. The police are investigating the issue, we're told. Kaba laid to rest, and the story is on page 3 of the paper. May so rest in peace. He was a very good man. Back page. Maidens record double over the Gambia. Maidens, that's what they do. When they go to the world, they're suffering. Bluebirds thrash NSA in Friendly, and Nantechi calf gurus to inspect Star Times facilities. So we'll hope that we'll have all that in readiness for the next Premier League season. But let's look at the Daily Guide newspaper. MPP dumps killer proposals. Elections begin in January. So the elections will be beginning in January. GPHA boss grabs Top PR Award. And now we have Boss Tours Depot. Nana Lay's Job Foundation and Mona arrested. I think I brought you a couple of the stories already. So we know what transpired at the conference of the New Patriotic Party. It took place in Kumasi. And then we have other stories there. But let's look at Center Spread, no story. And then so we have other stories. Shatawale clashes with Stoneboy at Abetifi. Okay, so that was Kweu. I'm sure this Christmas. So Shatawale. He's been having hits the last 4 or 5 years. Okay, so let's look at the Daily Dispatch newspaper. It has on the front page, the Daily Dispatch, with 21% of Ghanaians supporting Galamsey, ban on Galamsey to be lifted in January 2018, with 21% of Ghanaians supporting Galamsey. And the story is on the back page of the paper, and it says a Ghana Center of Democratic, a CDD Ghana September 2017 survey has revealed that some 21% of Ghanaians believe that although Galamsey is illegal, citizens should be allowed to make a living out of it. At least we're happy that it's not even 50% of Ghanaians. They still form the majority, the minority, if I believe so. Of course, they call the story from ajoonline.com about the possibility of the ban on small-scale mining being lifted in January 2018. We'll see how that goes. And below is a list of those who believe that large majorities, most of all, involved in corruption. We have traditional leaders, business executives, etc. The media. All right. So we have pay our arrears of some 50 million Ghana cedis, or we will go on strike, and that's according to the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT. NAGRAT says that it has threatened an industrial action in January 2018 if government fails to pay the more than 50 million Ghana cedi outstanding arrears owed its members. Over the last 11 months, the various teacher unions have been negotiating with government on the need to settle all its indebtedness to honor its promise after including it in the 2017 budget. And according to NAGRA, the unpaid allowances have accrued from 2013. And at a press briefing, incoming president of NAGRAT, Angel Kabunu, called on government to address their concerns without further delays. And it says we are owed vehicle maintenance allowances, we are also owed transfer grants, and then we are also owed transport and travel allowances. All these amount to more than 50 million Ghana cedis, and there is also salary arrears of those who have been recruited into the Ghana Education Service and they have taught for months and have not been paid. They also owe us allowances that ought to be paid, and all these are not getting any clear indication as to government's determination to pay, and so they go on and on and on. Sika pudio. So we have the Herald newspaper. It has on the front page, Akufo-Addo government gets intolerant, dismissing public sector staff for criticizing its performance. You have the tabloid, and it says the Akufo-Addo government has started showing signs of intolerance by sacking state officials who criticize its handling of some national affairs from their jobs. Those not in government employment are viciously attacked and their properties destroyed amid death threats, according to the paper. We have trouble at Dangote Cement, 50 Ghanaian workers to be sacked or sacked already. MP hits back at Chief Justice over her anti-NDC politics. Another multi-million city scandal hits boss. It says details coming out soon. And that's the Herald newspaper. But let's look at the Finder newspaper. It has on the front page, MPP adopts sweeping reforms but rejects controversial proposals. And let's look at the sweeping reforms that the MPP approved. And the story is on page 8 of the paper. That's the Finder newspaper. And it reads as follows. And it says 86 motions were tabled, and there will be an MPP training institute, just like the way NDC also has their some training institute like that. Okay, timetable for their internal elections were also, and then the president, of course, reiterated the need for job creation, and he says the government has set up funding for it. All right, so we have all that. Haha. All right. So we also have on the front page of the Finder newspaper, boss to build new terminals at Bibiani and new tank farm at Debris. We also have Cocoa Battles, Liter Brew and Co. over 2 million Ghana City legal fees. A historic verdict on implementation of ROPA today. So all that coming up. They are on the front page of the Finder newspaper. You just have to get a Finder and get details of it. The Today newspaper has on the front page MPP rejects amendment proposals. GN companies to be listed on Ghana Stock Exchange. Indum reveals. We have a picture also of Mr. Richmond Kelson. Kelson, good morning to you. It's been a while. And then we have Kaba goes home. All that on the front page of the Today News. It all looks like the Christmas edition, or it started showing Christmas signs. Yeah. All right. I hope that the traffic will not be more in Accra today because of Christmas. But let's look at the last paper. We have the Business and Financial Times has on the front page of the paper, local investor capacity in Africa low. Barclays survey is indicating, and the story on page 3 is very incisive. It says that the maiden edition of the Barclays Africa Group Financial Market Index has ranked the capacity of local investors in the country among the lowest of 17 financial markets on the continent. And apparently, we don't have people who can pool resources together locally in our country. So it means that they always would have to come from outside, and the money will keep going out. That's what it means. And the survey conducted in collaboration with official monetary and financial institutions forum was launched in Accra last week, cited high non-performing loans, NPLs ratio for banks, weak insolvency framework, and low domestic investor capacity. And then they were the areas that needed to improve. The country is to improve the performance of local investors. According to the survey, the relatively small size of local financial markets and the liquidity of the assets have created difficulties for the growth and development of local investors. That in many ways is true. And then we have other stories there. Please grab a copy of the Business and Financial Times. Great insight into the subject of the economy and how business relations and how companies are performing. And ultimately gives us some short to medium term view of what the economy will be like. Bank of Ghana closes door after Beige Capital. But we have Bank of Ghana closing door after the Beige Bank, and the central bank has placed a freeze on licensing of new banks and other financial institutions as part of its aim to strengthen supervision, which will come as a blow to investors seeking to enter the financial space without recourse to existing institutions. And then Africa World Airlines engages government over national airline, and the Africa World Airlines has submitted a proposal and held discussions with the Aviation Ministry to be designated as a country's flag carrier. Togbi for the that will be 10 plus the 14th, I believe. Sir, okay. Togbi for the 14th. Co-chairman of our and the chief of Asogli State said this. He designated when designated as a national flag carrier, AWA will be able to operate flights between Ghana, Accra, and other countries around the world. AWA, I think I love their flights too. So we have the back page. BJ2 launches operation set to change gaming sector. Okay, this game, Cha-Cha, they are in Ghana. And then Car Power to use Ghana to serve West Africa. But we also have Das Capital wins most promising non-bank advisory company of the year. You have a picture there of Nanama Fuaswa, communications officer, and Evelyn Grace Hagan, business development manager, displaying the award on the back page of the Business and Financial Times. But let's go to the online portals, and we go to myjoyonline.com as a foremost page. You go to myjoyonline.com. It says EUW saga court declares as null and void mandate of defined governing council. It says that the Winneba High Court has ruled on the landmark case brought before it by a private businessman and former assemblyman of an area in the area. of an area in the constituency, I should believe, against the EUW, the education minister. Okay, so we have also alleged preferential treatment of free SHS beneficiaries causes chaos, school closed down, and same senior high school at Fawodie, okay, or Fawade in the Ashanti region has been closed down indefinitely following student rioting over food. I hope that this will be clamped down as easily as they could. Professor Francis Alote honored posthumously, and he said the renowned mathematician and scholar of nuclear physics has been celebrated posthumously with the coveted 2017 African Genius Award. So when he's around, I didn't think I'm a man award. For humanity. Now let's look at fight against open defecation needs robust approach. Minister and the Central Regional Minister Kwame Duncan has called for a more radical approach to eradicating open defecation in the country. That's not a bad one. High Court delivers verdict on the 11-year delayed implementation of ROPA on Monday, and a Human Rights Court will Monday deliver judgment in the case brought by 5 citizens over the 11 years delayed implementation of the ROPA law. ROPA. ECOWAS urges Togo to have an inclusive dialogue and political crisis. And the West African leaders have called on Togolese political actors to hold an inclusive dialogue as soon as Togolese again hit the streets of Lomé on Saturday to protest the President Nyasingbe's reign. And he's going to continue. We're told that Charlie, in between himself and his father, 50 years ago. Right and wrong signals a message to Akufo-Addo on Ghana beyond aid. Your will to succeed on this front is something that those of us in the academia at least admire. We have disease outbreak. Occupy Ghana makes suggestions to Health Minister. Pressure group Occupy Ghana has made recommendations on how the current outbreak of the meningitis and H1 influenza in parts of the country could be stemmed and a recurrence prevented. So Occupy Ghana, more medical doctors now, so they don't have a problem. Can give advice, rough. Any idea of Occupy Ghana. Embattled Sosu sues General Legal Counsel for violating his right to fair trial, and Francis Xavier Sosu has filed a writ at the Human Rights High Court seeking an order to enforce his fundamental right to a fair trial as guaranteed under the 1992 Constitution. Oh, Charlie. A man gets legal discipline, but don't mean practice. Why lawyer? What breast are good lawyers? So let's go up. And Chairman Wontumi, wait. Chairman Wontumi says we'll play his insert, and Fred Potofe, my director, is getting the insert ready for Chairman Wontumi. I will win every seat in Ashanti region for MPP. And Chairman Wontumi, now let's watch Chairman Wontumi right now.
Your Excellency, as chairman of this region, my interest, my dream is to see that by the end of the day, we will have the fruitful deliberation and arrive at the decision that will further strengthen the structures of this party and ensure that every member, particularly the hard-working delegates and the full soldiers, are ultimate beneficiaries of this party. I would also like to repeat my pledge that before I end my tenure as a regional chairman of this party, every single parliamentary seat in the Ashanti region will be in the hands of the great MPP party in Ashanti. Once again, let me welcome everybody to Kumasi, the Ashanti regional capital, and I wish all of us a fruitful discussion. You are blessed. You are blessed. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. You are blessed, the MPP. You are blessed, everybody here. You are blessed.
You are blessed. I mean, you are blessed. So he says, I will win every seat in Ashanti region for MPP. Chairman Wontumi. I love that man. The thing on the chain, real gold. Usomwe Mudru. Papa was carried off. Chairman of MPP. The one contesting him, I don't know. but I don't know whether that person will, because chairman went to me the wow. Let's go up. You are blessed. Another blessed people are also, but let's look at this. Alleged preferential treatment of free SHS beneficiaries causes chaos, school closed down. We also go up. And if you want to watch that video, please make sure that you log on to Major Online TV. It's our channel on YouTube. And please, you get to watch him and win to me, blessing the president and blessing all of you. You are blessed. You are blessed. Let's go up. You are blessed. So we have all the videos there. We have the photos. Muhammad brings back missing smiles on faces of mourners, etc. And all the burial pictures from Kabe's funeral from Saturday and all the pictures that you can have. But let's go to City FM Online. So you go to City FM Online. We have stop illegal oppressive arrest, Bright Simmons to police. True. Why do you arrest people rough? Oh. Let's go. Accepting controversial proposals would have been a disaster. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic of Ghana. MPP. We also have Bernard Mona granted bail, vows to sue police. And then foundation has been laid for jobs, Nana Addo. Foundation has been laid for jobs, Nana Addo. Police overreacted in arresting Bernard Mona. Oh, Africa. Hey, yo. No change in fuel prices during Christmas period. That's according to the MPA. And we know that that's despite all those speculated reports in the media. Charlie, MPA say, enjoy your free Christmas. Maybe after Christmas, if you spend, so don't reserve some of the money just in case. What do you say? But after Christmas, because don't spend all the money. In December, you don't spend your money. January is dry. You see the way the hammer time is coming. Your pocket will be dry rough. What the up out there? You will see your somia. But we'll see how that goes. MPP's extraordinary national delegates conference in pictures. Don't spend all the money in December. Tell them they should relax. Come January 15th, I'll give you money. Not December. We'll spend all the money. Now try out or rebel. So we have other stories, sports stories, and George Addo Jr. just returned from the UK. Haven't watched that match. West Brom being beaten at home by Manchester United. He will bring you the highlights of those footages he has from the Hawthorns, I believe. Is that how they call them? West Brom? I don't know. Very fikra. But that was it. Let's look at the Africa page of the BBC and see what we can get from there. Front runners vying to secure ANC votes. We have a former wife of Jacob Zuma also contesting. Emotions run high as South Africa's governing ANC party selects a leader to succeed Jacob Zuma. And there's a Zuma somewhere there. Can we click it? Nkosana. That's how they try to pronounce it in Kosa. I hope that I tried. So we have, and then we have other story. So let's go up. It says that South Africa's ruling ANC has formally selected the two contenders to succeed President Jacob Zuma as the party's leader. And it says they are Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa and former Cabinet Minister Nkosana or Mini Zuma. Mr. Zuma's ex-wife. I'm trying to, sound like the way Kosa people will sound in South Africa. Kosa. So we have candidates were also nominated for 5 other party positions. Emotions apparently are running high. Delegates shouting at each other as they raise objections over voting rules, and some said, look, they even believe that cameras were on them. You know, when they are voting, cameras are spying, just in case you don't win. Africa is Africa. Yeah, deal with you, Africa. Where Black man day, everything for black. Jacob Zuma has won. The party is under threat and is at a crossroad. The leadership battle has caused a lot of political infighting, etc. Nearly 5,000 delegates are taking part in the 4th ANC elective conference at the Expo Center in Johannesburg. All right. So let's go to the page again, the Africa page of the BBC, and see what we can find there. Let's go up. Africa highlights top African academic dies. Mugabe photographed in Singapore, and hijab law student denied call to bar. And this one, Amasa Fedal, or I hope I pronounced the name well, was refused entry into the University of Olorin, Nigeria, convocation, or is it congregation, after insisting or calling to the bar, after insisting on wearing a headscarf under her wig. So she wanted to wear a headscarf under the wig because she's a Muslim and all that. Africa Mompadi. Ethiopia X8 jailed for war crimes, and strike disrupts just opened Dakar airport. Ancient child burials found in Egypt. They're still uncovering a lot of tombs and burial sites. Egypt is a wonder of civilization, etc. You go there, you will enjoy all the things about tourism, African heritage, and Egyptian history. If you have money, one day go there. Beautiful. Okay, so now be it for the newspapers and also review of the various online portals. Just in case you don't know, you can get interactive on Facebook, JoyNews on TV. We also have a Twitter handle at JoyNews on TV. Always catch us live through our YouTube channel, Majo Online TV, and we upload a lot more of the videos there for you. You just watch Chairman to me blessing the president himself saying a lot of things as far as we're concerned as to how the vision of the party will be for the next 4 years. Do stay on.